haven't done my morning waffles for a very long time. So I'm back. Lesson after lesson after lesson. Out for a little walk in nature, filling my cup. Ooh, is that lightning? Is that lightning? I don't think it's lightning, I just think it's my phone doing something weird. Look at all these beautiful flowers. So a few people have commented recently to me about being single. I guess how it's not the norm, it's not the normal way to be. There's this expectation by society that you grow up, you find somebody, you enter into a relationship, maybe you have children, you buy a house, that kind of thing. And I've never really wanted any of those things. And I've been in relationships, but right now I don't want to be. It might be that if I wanted to be in a relationship, I couldn't. I'm not saying that it's definitely completely my choice, or somebody else would be involved. This moment in time, for me, I just want to be on my own. I mean, look, if I want to come and walk in a field of flowers, I can. I was with someone for a long time, and when I left him, I didn't really know who I was. I totally lost my identity, and that's not his fault. That's on me. So many people said to me, "Oh, you're so brave. Like, I wish that I could do that, but I can't because there's so many things involved in relationships. You know, it's not just about the relationship always. You know, some people need that security, that financial stability. It's not just money, but like potentially your home, material possessions. It's not easy. I mean, I walked away from a lot. But I have been in toxic relationships before, and when you're in it, you don't always A, see that you're in it, or B, kind of have the first idea about how to get out of it. You know, if you're being manipulated and controlled by somebody, I'm not suggesting it's easy to leave a relationship. All I'm suggesting is that if you're single, you're not necessarily a weirdo that no one wants to be with. You know, everything in life is a choice, and maybe being single for some people, myself included, is a choice in that moment. Personally, felt like I had a huge amount of growth and development to do before I was ready to be in relationship again, to find myself again, my identity, what makes me smile, what makes me glow, what makes me shine and sparkle. Because, and this again is no fault of the other person, it was myself, I lost myself. And I lost myself because I was a people pleaser. Sat on a stile. I was a people pleaser. And that's not the other person's fault, that's mine. And I used to think that I was a nice person because I would do what other people wanted. I avoided confrontation and conflict. Just kind of went along with stuff so everyone else was happy. But that's not true. And it's quite a bitter pill to swallow, and it's taken me a long time to kind of really get this. But people pleasing is manipulation, consciously or unconsciously. Mostly I think unconsciously. It's a form of manipulation, and we lose ourselves by doing it. So when you people please, you're wearing a mask. You're like pretending to be someone you're not in order to gain the love and approval of other people. Because there's, and I'm only speaking from my own experience, I guess fear attached to being yourself. That like if you're yourself, that person won't want to be with you anymore. So you have to be this malleable person that does whatever they want in order for them to want to stay with you. Yeah. And so when you change, when you actually drop the people pleasing and you enforce boundaries and you stand up for yourself and what you want in life, it can be really hard for other people because suddenly you've become difficult and awkward. You're not the person that they always thought you were, but you're you. You're the truest version of yourself. Letting go of people pleasing does often come with like big changes in life and like ends in relationships and all sorts of things because the other person hasn't changed. Or potentially, you know, always is always wrong again. The other person hasn't changed, but you have. So for them it's super hard to accept this new version of you. Maybe. And for you it may be like super hard to kind of like be your true self. and to enforce these boundaries. I know for me it definitely is. And it's been a journey, ruffling feathers. It's not something I've ever wanted to do. I had times in my life where I completely forgot who I was, completely lost myself, because I was just so agreeable to fit in, to be liked, to be loved, maybe even. So these big changes in life can be hard. They come with a lot of loss of all sorts of relationships and changes that can be quite lonely at times. And I think I've said this before, I'd rather be on my own than pretend to be somebody else just to be with somebody. And I'm not saying that that's what other people do, I'm just speaking from my own experience. Some people seem to hold on to this idea that if you're single, there's something wrong with you. Like, why aren't you in a relationship? Are you like secretly crazy? Or are you broken in some way? When I finished my training for my job and I got my kind of like final job, I guess, that I now no longer do, the first question is, so when are you getting married? When are you having babies? And I've never been married in my life. I've never wanted to be, but I've been in 2 very long-term relationships, neither of which were right for me, because I wasn't myself, not because of the other person. And I've been in some other toxic relationships. I've been fortunate that the breeze has blown me into places that have given me space to allow me to see how toxic some situations have been, and I've been able to step away. But not everyone has that luxury. And if you're like financially dependent on somebody, it can be really hard. If you have children, there's so many things that make leaving a relationship really, really difficult. But I just remember when I came out of my long-term 9-year relationship, so many people said to me, "Oh, you're so brave. I wish I could do that." And now people don't say that I'm brave anymore. People ask me what's wrong with me because I'm on my own, which is really interesting. But for me, now, it's a choice. I don't feel that there's anything lacking in my life in that way. I'm complete on my own. I don't need anyone to complete me. And I gave so much of myself away for so many years of my life, trying to be loved, and I've spoken about this before. Now I just want to do me. I want to take risks without worrying about the impact on somebody else. I want to follow my heart without having to compromise, because that's not what someone else wants to do. I want to live for me. There's so many people that are scared of retirement because their identity's tied up in their job. So many people that are scared of being alone. My biggest fear is not living a life that's true to my heart. And that's what I'm trying to do. Now there are poppies. When I'm resistant to journaling and I feel like I need to be outside, for me, like being outside is my healing place. So I talk to my phone. And someone I was talking to recently said she speaks to ChatGPT. Yeah, I just speak to myself. I get the answers I want that way.